Welcome all. So we had one of the interesting question in our forum, in our group. One parent asked about what is the importance of nose piercing, what does it has to do with our ancient practice, what you have been following. So like I said, most of the practices, the rituals that has been part of our culture which we are doing is actually for medical and spiritual reasons, where ancestors have made it as a part of a ritual, so that even without knowing the meaning or without understanding the benefits out of it, just by performing these things we would still get the benefit from those practices. So one of the key things what they have been practiced in our ancient time is the nose piercing. So if you actually look at the nose piercing part, it has come to us from our ancestors from the tribal part of the world. So most of us, we all come from a tribal part of the community, and nose piercing, ears piercing, or these are some of the important things that they have been practiced. They have been advised by their wise man in their community. Either he would be an enlightened person or a siddha or a very experienced person of understanding nature and the human body. So that's what they said. So let's understand what is so special about nose piercing and why people are been doing it and why we should definitely follow those practices. See, if you actually take in our body, a lot of energy centers are there where those functions are happening. They've identified as seven stages in our body, where there are like 7 different locations where those energy centers have a very specific functions. So they are, in a modern terms, they are called as chakras, or in a scientific term, that's the place where you find the gland which actually makes the body function. Without those glands we cannot be living it, we cannot live in a harmony. So those chakras are being connected through a path, and they intersect at various location in our body. So this particular location is called as marma point or a varma point. So stimulating those points can either arrest certain pain, or it can be there could be a blockages in the flow of energy, and they can unlock it or they can temporarily lock it. So the same points can be used in a various ways to activate and deactivate or enhance a certain part of a certain functions in our body. For example, if you have a certain pain, there are certain points in the body where you can activate it. The pain would reduce it for some time being, or if there is any, in ancient days they want to do any surgery, they didn't have anesthesia, so they will just go and hit the varma point on a specific location which acts like a local anesthesia, or they might go unconscious and they will finish the performing doing the surgery and they'll reactivate it. You might have seen in some YouTube or in the movies where the Verma expert would actually disable a person and then he can enable a person. He can go unconscious by just touching a certain point, and those are very dangerous point, and you are touching on a daily basis. There are few points here in the neck, back of the head. That is why they say you should never even hit an enemy in the head. Even in the war zone, they don't hit people in the head. It's always about below the neck till above the hip. It is never not above. In this area they don't touch it. So if you actually go to learn Varma from any good asana, they'll just say even your worst enemy you should not touch the head part of it, because it affects the body in a very long term, and it induces a long term pain and before ending the life. So you will have to be very careful. So coming back to the nose part of it, so by default if you actually look at it, the left side is always about the feminine energy of a man, of any human being, and the right side is more of the man part of it. So technically when they said yin and yang or man and women, it's more like logic versus emotional connection. That's what they meant by it. So what happens is, on the left side, so when you when on the left side when you activate, your right brain is activated, and moreover there are 12 types of vayus in the body. Most of the scripts they always refer about 10 dasa vayus, but if you actually talk to a Varma person or any expert more towards Siddha, they'll say there are 12 kinds of air that gets circulated in the body. The air that you breathe is different. From this nose it's different. From the mouth when you do it's different. When you yawn that is different. When you burp that air is different. So they just try to we need to make the flow without any blocks. So what happens is, when you pierce on the left side, for a woman, the regular cycles what they have, the pain is reduced, and it stimulates to produce a good quality egg, and moreover they will have a lesser pain when they have a natural delivery. So that is one of the important point. They are so particular about piercing on the left side. But whereas if you actually go little deeper, if you have seen tribal people who are living in the forest or inside the jungle, You will see male member would have pierced on the right side. This is just to make him more logic, more agile, and more physical activity. It gives a lot of strength and a lot of logical thought process. So it is just for activating it. Nothing wrong to do on the both the side for women, as they need to have both the side of the energy. That is one of the important thing. But if you actually look little more even deeper, these are Varma points. So stimulating this, when I spoke to one of the asana, when I asked recently, he said more than this point, when they put the nose piercing, when they put the stud, the edge touches inside the nose. That point is actually a Varma point. They should activate their. It will actually unlock many of their pain points in the body, and it will keep their brain more alert. They'll be more inclined towards spiritual part of it, and they'll have a very strong emotional support, because women's breath has that kind of a healing energy than the men. That's why in the house, even you have grandfather or grandmother, you always go to your grandmother part of it, where everybody has that affection. That women, their unconscious breath has a lot of healing energy. So that has been more purified when you do this, and the energies are flowing much better. And when they add a gold or any noble metal like silver and along with the diamond, so that acts as an energy stabilizer. And number one, and the other thing is, during the cycles they lose a lot of energy, because the whole energy is diverted to a different purpose. So that particular heat is being stored in the body when you puncture this point, so that it doesn't get drained. So it helps them recover after that and to follow a healthy life. So it acts as a temperature stability. And mostly what they do is they do the nose piercing very early, along with the ear piercing they used to do. Or the next time what they follow is, when a girl reaches the puberty or a menarche stage, that's when they do the left ear piercing as a standard practice in the past. So that would stimulate her the reproductive organ and keeps it more healthy. And during that time, out of this 12 air which I was talking about, some of the air creates a toxic effort and it goes and stays in your head. So during that time it creates some unstable emotions in their mind. To release that also, this nose piercing helps them in a lot of way. So that's why they had both. So we have to definitely, I would encourage any women members who we have kids, definitely to follow it. And if you could look little more deeper, in the royal families, they used to actually pierce it even in the center of the nose. So that is like activating the Sushmana Nadi. It completely cuts the emotion as well as the logic. You actually connect to, you be a very centered person. So there are multiple points in the nose itself. Exactly below there is a point. If you just touch it, it will activate your Sushmana Nadi. That is the center. You will start breathing in both the nostrils. But the way, how to press it, there is the trick here. So most of the time we do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayam, which many people do it before meditation, because they want to bring breath in both the sides, so that the center of the Sushmana Nadi is opened up. Just by touching certain point, it will activate it. So there is one point here, and that's why they wear this center studs here. And in the tip of the nose, just above, that's another Varma point. And back side of the tip, there's another asana who told me, where you just press it here in the front part of it, the nose. When you actually press it, close your eyes, it actually pains. You will actually have tears from your eyes. You can try it just by stimulating that front part of it, the front part of the bone what you have in the center, towards the center of the bone. When you press it and close your eyes like 5 times, you press it, you will have tears. It will enhance your eyesight, and it will keep your brain much more alert. It activates the function of pineal gland, the master gland of our body. There's a lot of health benefits. So anybody can follow, man, woman or children's. Everybody, daily morning when you get up, just try to press this point 5 times, and then you open your eyes and see. You will actually have a very refreshing thoughts. You will start getting new kind of creative and innovative thoughts. So that's a very shortcut. So all these areas have a very sensitive point. There is a point in this edge of it. There is a point here called Annakalam here. So what they did is, just having these studs, when you actually put and wear all those things daily in the morning, that stimulates those nerves. That's all. So that is one of the advantage of it. And the spiritual part of it is obviously the 5 indriyas what you have in the body. So when you have a diamond, that aura would constantly keep cleansing your thought process in your head. And diamond also has a capacity to store any positive vibration. So when you chant or when you pray, that would store you. These are like your memory cards, what they have. So today they say silicon or glass material would be the future of storage devices, and our ancients have almost unlocked it long time ago. So that's the secret of nose piercing. I would encourage everyone in our community to share your health experience. I've seen many mothers have nose pierced. Feel free to share what kind of health issues you have not faced, or is it like true whatever I said? Yeah, I did have less pain. I didn't have much pain in delivery, or I don't have that much of pain, or I don't have that kind of emotional instability or change in body temperature. If your nose pierced, do share your story, and this might help inspire other parents to follow this practice or not. So that's the secret behind nose piercing, what I know. And one of the auspicious time to do this is you can choose a Chitra star, that is the Chitrai star nakshatra. That is the day which is very auspicious to do this, and that's actually a detailed science why they choose. Like every 27 stars combination with with the moon's position, various energies constantly keep changing. So this particular star is very auspicious if you want to do the nose piercing part of it. So you can follow on both the sides, it's entirely up to you, but at least for a woman it should be on the left side. So I'll see you in the next video with some interesting queries, what people discuss in a group. Thank you.